Hi, welcome to the Critical Theories of Learning wing. We're so glad you've made it this far in our museum. In this wing, we are going to consider deeply the word critical. And our definition of critical is that it is going to involve an analysis of merits and faults of various ideas. We have been asking you to engage in criticality throughout your entire museum experience as we've asked you to find faults, question, and determine where theories may fall short. In this wing, you're going to explore two styles, the culturally relevant pedagogy plus style and the pedagogy of the oppressed style, in which the criticality is built in to the theory. For example, let's take a quick tour of our heroes of the hall thus far. From behaviorism, we had Pavlov, Skinner, Watson, and Thorndike. In our cognitivism hall, we had Miller, Simon Newell, Shiffrin, Atkinson, Piaget, Papert, and Vygotsky. And just coming from our social learning hall, we had Bandura, Lave, and Wenger. Most of these folks are male, and most of these folks are white. And that is in line with the historical power dynamics in education, society, culture, publishing. Critical theories hope to push back against those dominant narratives by questioning. The heroes of our hall in this critical theories wing are Gloria Ladson-Billings, Django Paris, and Paulo Freire. Gloria Ladson-Billings is the one who coined the term culturally relevant pedagogy, and she was born in 1947. Django Paris has coined the phrase culturally responsive sustaining pedagogy and was born sometime in the 70s. And Paulo Freire wrote The Pedagogy of the Oppressed and was born in 1921 in Brazil and died in 1997. In our museum so far, we have asked you to really focus in on learning as opposed to teaching. Now, we're going to argue that these are overlapping constructs. Maybe they overlap a little bit for you, maybe they're nearly the same thing for you. But we've asked you to focus on the learning. In this wing, the artists really focus on pedagogy. And pedagogy is the art and science of teaching. It tends to be a word that scares people a little bit, but you can almost always replace the word teaching for the word pedagogy. So, in this wing, the theories are going to be focused on pedagogy or focused on teaching, but we need you to still be focused on the learning that comes from these theories. In this wing, we are going to mix up the creations and reflections a little bit. And at the end of your time in these galleries, we're going to ask you to create your own theory of learning based on the theories, the artwork, the artists that you've experienced so far in the museum. By the end of your time in this wing, we hope that you can communicate how culturally relevant pedagogy plus explains learning, identify and describe ways that you use culturally relevant pedagogy plus, and identify and describe ways that culturally relevant pedagogy plus is problematic or incomplete in explaining learning. We also hope that you will be able to communicate how pedagogy of the oppressed explains learning, how you can describe and identify ways that you use the pedagogy of the oppressed, and that you can identify and describe ways that pedagogy of the oppressed is problematic or incomplete when it comes to explaining learning. We hope you have a very critical time in this Critical Theories of Learning wing.